Hello, this is Lisa from Telios Tutors, and in this video I'm going to show you one of our students who has developed so much through her time with working with us. So initially her father came to us who wanted her to prepare for 11 plus exam, and she was really struggling with writing essays, creative writing, things like that. And as well as comprehension. So we did some specimen papers, just to gauge an understanding of her level. I went through exactly how to answer and approach these sort of texts, and how to answer these questions. And so when we looked into the writing aspects, we set up some homework, really tried to understand the vocabulary that she was using and try to build from there. And we did this by using things like, introducing lots of different abstract nouns, adjectives, verbs, and then to write those into sentences. We then worked on how to plan a writing, using sentence starters, creating like a word bank, a list of really good words that you can feel free to pull out and use and apply in your writing. So we use lots of different sentence starters, which is very crucial actually when it comes to story writing, because a lot of children, they start with things like I or he, so it leads with the person or the subject or the object. So instead we try to use, we open the sentence by using fronted adverbials, and that really shapes the way her writing came across in the end. And as you can see, she was writing really, really well. And this is someone of age 9 at the time, so she used some really sophisticated and professional words, and it really showed in the way that she did this in her homework. And as you can see, she's using, her presentation is excellent, using some really high level words that you probably wouldn't even an adult probably would struggle to use. We also then started to focus on interview techniques. So she was preparing for the interviews, and this is a very crucial part of the common entrance examination actually. So we covered many aspects, and instead of focusing too much on the questions, it's really about developing the child from within, and really getting them to be confident in the way they come across and articulate themselves. So we did go over some of the questions, but more importantly we focused a lot on how she comes across and how to approach questions so that she would be able to be adaptable with whatever questions that were asked to her. So sometimes students really enjoy this method of learning because it allows them to freely express themselves as well. So she sometimes would draw an illustration as part of the homework, which really brought her stories to life, which was amazing to witness as well. And yeah, so we started to continue working with a lot of writing and comprehension, and you can really see her development over time. The ending, we were quite strict on the ending, which is why she didn't score as highly as we wanted, and this is something that we have really high expectations for, because how a story ends is usually the last impression that it leaves on the reader. And we wrote a lot of feedback, as you can tell, a lot of feedback on how she could really extract emotion in her ending, as opposed to just ending more of a kind of subtle way. We really wanted to create impact, and we did this by all this feedback, which you can actually have a look. So yeah, sometimes we talk a lot about sentence styles, so active and passive tenses, and passive being a more sophisticated and more formal way of expression as opposed to active. So just these small shifts can actually make a real huge difference. So yeah, over time you can really see her development. She's writing at such a high level that she's at the top of her class, and the teachers are really impressed with the way that she's writing at. We score 6 out of 10 because we do have very high standards, and although she's actually working at 10 out of 10 in terms of her peers and her the national average, we feel that she could do a lot better because we just always have really high expectations based on the individual. So yeah, always setting the bar really high. So as you can see, over time we're doing, still continue to do a lot of writing, a lot of comprehension. So yeah, this is just to give you an overview of the type of work that goes into preparing someone for the 11 plus. It's very much holistic, so we don't just cover the English, but we also cover other aspects such as the interview and developing the mindset, and really forming a really strong foundation that they can really showcase when it comes to the interview stage. So yeah, I hope this helps to give you a bit of an insight as to what is covered, and this very much only scratches the surface of what we really do achieve. So I hope this helps.